ask you, do you know anything more about, talking more of clones now? Do you know any clonates and if they're real? Because we have CGI and then we see clones, and we're not really sure as to whether clones are real or they're lookalikes, or, people are wearing masks, or they're actually, CGI. So what do you think? Do you think clones exist?
My experiences in this case, there are 4 basic types. I have witnessed several. So the copying by taking cellular and regrowth of the cellular and uploading the consciousness and downloading it into a new body, or literally growing the body to where, because the memories are stored genetically as well, so it would have them at the time of growth memories. And then there's also the robotoid type that they created at Bethesda. I've met a couple of them, which have to be regenerated at a regular basis because they don't have their own internal power supply, so to speak. So they consist of light coalesced down to form. So you put a person in a particle beam, low-level energy that records their biorhythms and all of their information of every cell and memory and thought and feeling and emotion. And they once the person, that can be loaded up to a hard drive. Then once the person leaves, they can reverse the beam and coalesce a copy in a matter of not just a few minutes, within a day, definitely. But then that being thinks and behaves and acts and thinks it is the original, but it does become aware of it, the fact that it can't be, because it starts to do what's called derezzing. It starts to wind down because it's like a watch with a battery that's running down. So it has to get recharged on a regular basis. And I was aware that had previously been done at Camp David for presidents like Nixon, actually, and his wife died in an airplane crash. So when they went to China, those are called robotoids. So that's why they were having the difficulties they had when they went to China, because they were starting to derest. And then the Chinese tried to hit them with particle beams that would, sonic waves actually in this case, that would cause them to die. But because they were winding down, it didn't cause them to die, it got them ill. And so that's another type. And then there's a kind of a clone thing. It's not really the classical term, where it's more like body snatchers, like pod people, where when they were making the DUMBs, they discovered under the earth a lizard-like creature that's 2 to 3 feet high, that once it gets to adulthood, how it kind of sort of moves on or procreates or however is to find a higher reasoning being. And it takes its proboscis and latches it over the person's eye. And then it downloads its awareness through its cerebral spinal fluid into the being, which kills the being. And then the being takes over control of the other body and reintegrates the body under its own control. But it can only do that depending on the maturity and many factors, it lasts between 2 to 10 years, and then the being starts to die of dementia.
Wow. So there are creatures that can do that under the earth, and are these evil creatures?
It would depend on your definition. That's just their way of being. How they're being used is evil to me, because you have in the DUMBs by the cabal where that's being forced. So if that were a person, everything's about choice. So, if everything was within choice, it would, to me, I don't, think it's appropriate. But, that is their nature. It's like saying, is a shark evil or a mosquito evil? That's their nature.
I see.
In the case of the lizard, but the lizard creature is like semi-sentient. It's fairly aware. So I would say, in the sense that what it seems like is these creatures don't have a heart chakra. They're functioning on 1, 3, and 5. So they're only functioning with no compassion and no connection to Creator. They don't have a 6th chakra where they can see, and a 7th chakra be connected to Creator. And to reiterate for people what a chakra is, most people think satanic stuff when you hear that. Though we have 3 types of circulatory systems, the human. You have a cardiovascular system composed of veins, arteries, and capillaries with a heart pump And then you have a lymphatic system, which your muscles pump the lymphatic fluid through veins, arteries, and capillaries that kind of open end, and then your muscles stretching and compressing pump it back up into the big reservoirs up in the big arteries going up the vena cava in the middle of the abdominal area. And then the last one is you have your acupuncture meridian channel system, which is literally a fiber optic system that's conducting, they've actually found it conducts ultraviolet light. And they have little computer networks that control those channels that go to each organ. And there's major hubs, if you will, that have been in ancient Hindu times were called chakras because they spin.
Right.
That's the word for a spinning. It's like a little fiber optic computer ball that's spinning energy in it. And it's spinning energy throughout all the organs in that location. And then you have that's your big servers. And then you have many locators, like in the palm of your hand and other ones. So without the seventh chakra that connects us to God and Creator, without that connection and without a heart chakra having compassion, if you only have first, second, third, and fifth, you have willpower to do what you want to do, and you have the ability to procreate first chakra, and to process materials and things second chakra and third chakra, and then that's all there is of you. So then you would not have compassion, you would not have connection to source, and so it's kind of an incomplete being, and that's how it functions.
Hi, Patriots. I just wanted to say thank you to all of those who have supported this channel. I hope you're enjoying the videos, and if you would like to make a donation to support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description below. And thank you again, and I'll see you on the next video.